My name is Lucas Reed. I am 34 years old and I work as a night security supervisor in Chicago. For 10 years, my job has been simple: watch cameras, lock doors, and make sure no one enters places they shouldn't. I've seen thieves, drunk people, and even break-ins. But nothing prepared me for what happened on a New Year's Eve. The city was celebrating. Fireworks were already exploding above the skyline, and crowds were filling the streets. Everyone was happy. Everyone was excited for a new beginning. I was alone in the control room of Ridgeway Mall, a shopping center scheduled to be demolished. Most of the stores were empty, and the building was supposed to be completely closed for the night. At 11:30 p.m., one of the security monitors turned on by itself. Camera 9, it showed the food court, and someone was standing there, a tall figure, completely still, facing directly into the camera. That was impossible. The mall was locked. I grabbed my radio and called out, "Hello, this is mall security. You are trespassing. Please leave immediately." The figure didn't move. At 11:45 p.m., more cameras turned on, one by one. Camera 3, camera 14, camera 21. On every screen, there was someone standing. All of them were staring into the cameras. None of them were moving. My heart started pounding. I checked the system. No alarms, no forced doors, nothing. At 11:55 p.m., my radio crackled. A voice whispered, "10 minutes until we come in." I stood up so fast my chair fell over. "Who is this?" I shouted. The radio answered, "New Year needs new people." I tried to call the police. No signal. Then the security doors of the mall unlocked, by themselves. I watched in horror as the figures on the screen started walking forward, slowly, perfectly in sync. At 11:58 p.m., they were inside the hallways. They didn't walk like normal people. Their movements were stiff, unnatural, like puppets being pulled by invisible strings. One of them passed under a camera. Its face was wrong. The skin was pale and cracked. The eyes were black, and its mouth was stretched into a painful smile. At 11:59 p.m., the whispering returned, now coming from every speaker in the control room. 2 minutes left. Make space for the new year. Make space for the new ones. I ran. I left the control room and sprinted through the empty mall. Store windows reflected my terrified face. The sound of footsteps echoed behind me, but when I turned around, the hallway was empty. Then the lights went out. Emergency lights turned red. Every exit door slammed shut. My phone vibrated. A message appeared. "You have been selected." Fireworks exploded outside. Midnight was coming. I hid inside a clothing store holding my breath. I could hear them walking past. Their footsteps were slow, wet, and heavy. One stopped in front of the store. I could see its shadow under the door. A voice spoke, gentle and cruel. "Don't be afraid. You will be perfect when the clock strikes 12. The mall speakers began counting. 10, 9, 8. I covered my ears. 7, 6. My phone showed the time. 11:59, 54. 5, 4. The door began to open. 3, 2, I screamed. 1. Everything went silent. When I opened my eyes, I was standing in the food court. Fireworks could be heard outside. People were standing all around me, smiling, not moving, staring at me. I looked down at my hands. They were pale, cold, still. A voice echoed in my head. "Welcome to the new year." If you are watching this video, remember something. Some places don't celebrate New Year's. They collect it. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and write your opinion about this story in the comments. Because every year, they need someone new. I hope you enjoyed this story. Write your thoughts in the comments, and if you love this kind of horror, tell me so I can make more. My name is Daniel Carter. I'm 32 years old, and I work as a photojournalist in New York City. I've always chased strange stories, abandoned places, urban legends, and mysteries people are afraid to talk about. But what happened to me on New Year's Eve made me wish I had never gone looking for one. It was December 31st. The city was glowing with lights, fireworks, and celebration. Everyone was ready to welcome a new year. Everyone except me. At 10:40 p.m., I received a message from an unknown number. If you want a story no one will ever forget, go to Blackwood Hotel before midnight. Blackwood Hotel had been abandoned for over 40 years. A deadly fire had taken place there on New Year's Eve long ago, killing dozens of people trapped inside. I should have ignored the message, but curiosity is more dangerous than fear. I grabbed my camera and went. The front door was open. That alone was wrong. The air inside felt cold and heavy, like the building was holding its breath. Every step echoed too loudly, as if the walls were listening. My phone showed 11:55 p.m. Then I heard footsteps behind me. I turned around. No one was there. An old elevator stood in the middle of the lobby. Surprisingly, it was working. Only one button was lit, 313. The doors closed by themselves. When the elevator stopped, I saw a hallway that looked untouched by time. At the end of it was room 313, its door slightly open. Whispers were coming from inside. I stepped in. Inside the room, about 20 people were standing in a circle around a large wall clock. They were dressed in clothes from the 1950s. None of them moved. The clock read 11:59 p.m. Suddenly, they all began whispering together. 10, 9, 8. They slowly turned their heads toward me. Their faces were burned. Their eyes were dark, but they were smiling. 7, 6, 5. I tried to run, but the door was gone. 4, 3, 2. A cold breath touched my ear. A voice whispered, "Everyone who enters here on New Year's stays forever." 1. The lights went out. I woke up on the floor of the hotel lobby. My phone showed 12:01 am. Everything was silent. On the wall in front of me, written in dark red letters, were the words, "You are one of us now." I ran outside. Fireworks filled the sky. People were laughing, cheering, hugging. I tried to speak to them, but no one responded. I tried to touch a man standing next to me. My hand went straight through him. That's when I realized the truth. I had never left Blackwood Hotel. If you're watching this video right now, remember one thing. Some doors opened on New Year's Eve. Never close again. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and tell me what you think about this story in the comments. To this day, people walking past Blackwood Hotel at midnight say they hear a man whispering, "Help me," but no one ever stops. I hope you enjoyed this story. Write your opinion in the comments, and if you like this type of horror story, let me know so I can make more for you. My name is Ethan Miller. I'm 29 years old and I work as a sound engineer in Los Angeles. I record voices, background noise, and strange sounds for movies and documentaries. I never believed in ghosts until one recording changed everything. It was December 31st. New Year's Eve. The city was loud, bright, and alive. Fireworks were already cracking in the sky, and people were filling the streets ready to celebrate. I was alone in my small studio when I received an email from an unknown sender. The subject line said, "Record this before midnight." Inside the email was an address and a short message. "The voices will start at 11:58 p.m. Do not be late." Curiosity pulled me in. I grabbed my audio equipment and drove to the location. It was an old apartment building near downtown, abandoned for years after a mysterious gas explosion killed an entire family on New Year's Eve. The front door was unlocked. That should have been my warning. The hallway smelled like dust and cold air. My footsteps echoed as if someone was walking behind me, but every time I turned around, nothing was there. My watch read 11:57 p.m. BI. I entered apartment 404. Inside, I set up my recorder. At 11:58 p.m. AO, the silence was broken by whispers. Soft at first, then louder. Dozens of voices overlapping, crying, laughing, begging. Then, one voice stood out. It said my name. Ethan. My blood ran cold. 10, 9, 8. The voices began counting down. My recorder's screen started glitching. The temperature dropped. The walls seemed to breathe. 7, 6, 5. A shadow moved across the ceiling. I looked up and saw the shapes of people burned into the walls, screaming without sound. 4, 3. I ran for the door, but it slammed shut on its own. 2. A voice whispered right behind me. "We need someone new." 1. The lights went out. When I woke up, the recorder was still running. My phone showed a 12:02 a.m. The apartment was quiet, clean, and empty, like nothing had ever happened. I checked the recording, but it wasn't the voices I heard. It was my own. Crying, screaming, begging not to be taken. I rushed outside into the street where people were celebrating the new year. I tried to stop someone. I grabbed a woman's arm. She walked right through me. I wasn't in the world anymore. I went back to the building. In the dark hallway, I saw new words scratched into the wall. "Welcome, Ethan." If you are watching this right now, remember something. Some places don't want to be empty. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and write your opinion about this story in the comments. And if you ever hear your name whispered just before midnight on New Year's Eve, don't answer. I hope you enjoyed this story. Write your thoughts in the comments, and if you like this kind of horror story, let me know so I can make more.